Hi, welcome to Learning and Practice. In these lessons, we're going to learn how to factorize and solve quadratic equations following four methods. Today we're going to look at the first method, the simple method. But first we need to consider the general equation of a quadratic in the format ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b and c could be integers or decimal numbers. But first we're going to look at the case where a equals 1, which will lead us to simple quadratic equations of the format x squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And we're going to learn how to factorize and solve these equations through an example where we're going to select some values for a value for b and c. Now clearly here a is 1 because it's a simple quadratic, so x squared, and we're going to select a value for b and a value for c. Now in this example, b is plus 7 and c is plus 12, which gives us the quadratic equation x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. So we have a equals 1, b equals plus 7, and c equals plus 12. How do we solve these simple quadratics? Well, first we'll look at the number on its own, plus 12. And we're going to find the factors of 12. Now the factors of 12 will help us to factorize, that's in the second stage, this quadratic. So the factor of 12, 1 and 12, so times by 2, divided by 2, 2 and 6, and then times by 3, divided by 3, 3 and 4. So these are the factors of 12. Now we have to decide on the sign of each one of the factors. For each pair, we need to decide which sign they're going to take. Now for this, we look at the sum of the two factors, which is the factor of x. That will give us the sign of the factors that we need in order to factorize this quadratic. So we need to identify two factors with the sum of plus 7. Now, if the sum is positive, that means the larger number, like in this case 12, must be positive. And in the second pair, 6 is positive. The third pair, 4 is positive. Plus times plus is plus. And the other factors must be positive as well. So that we have, for example, plus 1 times plus 12 is plus 12. But now we need to look at which two factors would add up to give the factor of x. In other words, we're looking for matching factors. In our case, it's plus 3 and plus 4. So plus 3 times plus 4 is plus 12, and plus 3 plus 4 is a plus 7. So we found two factors that multiply to give plus 12 and add up to give plus 7. We're going to use them to factorize our original quadratic in the format x plus 3 times x plus 4 equals 0. Now here we are in the presence of two factors, a and b, and the product of those two factors is 0. So a times b is 0. Now if two factors multiply together to give 0, that means one of them must be 0. So in our case, if a times b is 0, we could have two possibilities here. So either a is 0, so that we can have 0 times b is 0, or the second factor, b is 0, so that a times 0 is 0. So we can apply this logic to our two factors, x plus 3 and x plus 4. So we're going to have then two possibilities here for the two factors to give a product of 0, is either the first factor, which is x plus 3, in our case, equals 0. We're going to solve simple linear equation. To get rid of it, we do the opposite, so minus 3 on both sides to keep the balance, which gives us the first solution, or the first root, x equals minus 3. Now, the other possibility, like we've seen before, is for the second factor to be equal to 0. So we have either x plus 3 equals 0 or x plus 4 equals 0. Again, solving a simple linear equation, minus 4 on both sides, gives us x equals minus 4, and that's the second root or the second solution. Excellent. Now we clarified the method to solve simple quadratics. In the next lesson, we're going to look at different examples where we're going to have B and C of different signs, and you're going to see that the algorithm is still applicable and still help us to solve these simple quadratics. So the next lesson is going to be about some more examples on solving quadratics. So to summarize, first we need to find the matching factors. So it's the product of the number on its own. We use them to factorize the quadratic. Once it's factorized, we use the principle that one of the factors must be equal to 0 in order to solve and find the roots. So next example, we're going to be following like a lesson with 3 examples with different signs for B and C. Thanks for watching, and see you next lesson.